Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Family Moments,
where we use really cool object lessons
that teach the truth
about what matters most.
Exactly. And today, we're going to have some fun with this.
What's that?
Champagne?
I don't think I'm old enough to drink.
Me neither.
I'm not sure this is such a good idea.
Relax, would you? This is non-alcoholic sparkling grape juice.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
Would you guys like some? Ow, brother. Hey kids, Pastor Robbie here, along with my lovely assistant Sadie,
Hello.
and today's special co-hosts Bree and Braden.
Hello.
And today, we're going to have some fun learning about bubbles.
Bubbles?
What do bubbles have to do with the Bible?
Yeah, Dad. Are you sure you haven't been drinking real champagne?
Very funny. But let me ask you, when do most people drink champagne?
It's usually pretty popular around New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Well, you're right. On New Year's Eve, they drink a lot of champagne.
Or sometimes people drink it at weddings when they make a speech, don't they?
You're right, and that's called a toast.
So, what's that got to do with bubbles?
Well, champagne is so full of bubbles that it's often called bubbly.
I didn't know that.
Sometimes people are said to have a bubbly personality. Any idea what that means?
Probably fun and happy, right?
You're right. Someone who is bubbly is very lively and cheerful, and sometimes they even talk a lot.
So, what's this have to do with our lesson? The Bible doesn't talk about bubbles, does it?
Oh, you might be surprised. One of the Hebrew words in the Old Testament for prophet is the word nabi, which literally means to bubble up. It describes one who is stirred in spirit.
Interesting.
And when applied to speaking, to bubble up becomes to declare. In fact, let's take a look at today's verse. It comes from Proverbs 18:4, where it says, "The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook."
What does that mean?
Well, there is much below the surface of people's words. Wisdom bubbles up from the depths of a wise person's heart, revealing itself and refreshing all who listen.
Maybe that's why they use champagne for toasts, because the speech is usually filled with words of wisdom.
Could be.
But how does this apply to us?
Yeah, I don't really consider myself like a wise old man or a prophet.
He's got a good point, Dad.
Well, fortunately, you don't have to be a wise old man or a prophet to share wisdom. Wisdom comes from knowing God and His Word. Most kids love bubbles because they are so much fun, but they're also a good reminder to all of us that we should be stirred up or bubbling over with the good news of Jesus. And we don't have to wait until New Year's or weddings to live cheerfully for the Lord.
I love it. So what about an object lesson?
Well, I thought we'd just have some fun with bubbles today. The first one we're going to do is called Bubble Up, and all we're going to need is a Slinky, some Dawn dish soap, some xanthan gum, some baking powder, a bucket, and a gallon of water. We'll pour 8 ounces of Dawn dish soap into this bucket, and we'll add 1 tablespoon of xanthan gum. And we'll add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and mix it all up and add our water. Then we'll whisk it all together. We'll dip this Slinky inside the bucket like this, and we'll gently pull it out and let the water drain down. And then we'll use this straw to create a bubble like this. Now watch what happens when we pop the wall.
The bubble climbed up to the top.
Cool.
This is a good reminder to us to bubble up with the good news of Jesus. Get it?
Sweet.
And since we serve a big God, what do you say we try to make a really big bubble?
Oh yeah!
We'll have to make a wand first by using these sticks. We'll tie a string on the end of one stick and loop a washer through it to give it some weight. Then we'll tie the string onto the other stick and form a triangle by bringing the slack back to the original stick. It should look like this. Now we'll dip our string into the bucket and create some giant bubbles.
That's awesome.
Cool!
Amazing! wonder kids love bubbles so much.
Bubbling up for Jesus is a beautiful thing. So, team, what did you learn today?
I learned that bubbles are not only fun and cheerful, but they can also describe someone who is stirred in spirit.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be a prophet or an old wise man to share about Jesus. Just like bubbles, we can celebrate him every day.
Very good. Now, all this talk about bubbles has made me kind of thirsty. Sadie, do we have any more of that sparkling water left?
Sure thing, Dad. Allow me.
Good.
Oops. Sorry, Dad.
Now I'm all sticky.
Don't worry, we'll take care of you.
You'll take care of me. What are you gonna do? Bring me a washcloth? What?
Are you still sticky?
A little bit.
Don't worry.
We'll see you around.